welcome Shane O'Brien, Managing Director Ireland at Grifols Worldwide, the global leader in plasma-derived medicines. Delighted to have you here today. If you don't mind, I'm going to kick off for those who don't know you with a little bit about yourself. So if you can tell me a little bit about your background and your journey to your role today at Grifols Worldwide.
Thank you, Anne. A real pleasure to be here. By way of background, I suppose I'll go back to school, where we all start. Came out of school, wanted to travel, really did. My parents, I was lucky, parents really pushed in education. I would say I matured later, a little later, maybe all boys do, but I was a late mature. Just wanted to travel when I got out of school, so headed off around Europe. I worked so many different roles. Some more notable, I worked with people with disabilities for a good few years, really enjoyed that. But just wanted to travel, get out. Lived around different places in Europe, but then figured, I'm gonna have to get serious at some point. So I came back home and studied business studies, settled into that, qualified, and straight away wanted to get moving again. Thought I'd go see the world, and made it as far as London. So I did. Didn't get very far, but I was 9 years in London. Really enjoyed it. Was working with Sainsbury's for most of that time. Yeah, all of that time actually. Yeah, great organisation, really enjoyed it. Sort of the money market desk, FX, transactions, that sort of stuff, treasury, that side of the business. Really good, qualified as an accountant over in London. And then met a girl from my hometown, so fell in love and said, right, time to move back home. That was the end of the worldwide travels of London. Came back home, and that's sort of where I met Sainsbury's, where I met Grifols. I loved straight away. I loved the sort of the rich history of Grifols. That innovative spirit in medicine going back right through the years, in the early 1900s, and just that the simplicity of the plasma donation right through to plasma-derived medicines. And from my teenage years, I guess I had sort of a personal connection with donation. Fortunately, the family was thrust into the world of donation probably when I was around 18, and I can remember those sort of heartfelt letters we got from sort of organ recipients and everything else. So it was it was nice to sort of get to connect again with that. My wife, she's double lung transplant recipient. I myself am a donor, not an organ donor now, blood donor. I've donated 26 times. Which is great. I really enjoy that. And you get to, I think there's also plasma sometimes, the Irish blood transfusion, they'll extract the plasma and they'll treat patients recovering from cancer and various sorts. So it's nice to get to sort of donate some plasma here in Ireland as well. And our family origin story is also donations. So right across the board, a real connection with donation, and that sort of marries, I feel so lucky to work with Grifols and see the wonderful work that we do, in changing people's lives with the plasma-derived medicines. It's fantastic. I feel very fortunate.
That's incredible. That's such an interesting story and such a personal connection to it. I love that it felt a bit meant to be to end up at somewhere like Grifols, given your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I suppose in that context, for anybody watching or listening who doesn't know Grifols terribly well, tell me a little bit more about its origins, because as you say, it has some history. Yeah. And where it is today, I suppose, and then maybe the Irish operation.
Yeah, Grifols, it's been family-run business for a long time. And you look back at the challenges of wartime, civil war, and just getting your hands on medical journals and just trying to progress and innovate. And they were working, in labs in Barcelona, in the city, and the family and the children around them learning. And, a remarkable story and remarkable growth right through to today. Really fascinating. Biopharma is the biggest side of the business. We've diagnostic business and also, biosupplies in different areas. But biopharma is the most significant, and there's been real significant growth, as you say, to become the leader in plasma-derived medicines has been fascinating. So, now today, Grifols, we've never been stronger. Operationally, absolutely fantastic. Quarter-on-quarter results. We keep delivering. It's a growing industry, so it is. Grifols Ireland, it's been a remarkable story. Really, really good. We're in Ireland now 12 years, 12 years now in Ireland. We are the management centre for the biopharma division in Ireland, so end-to-end supply chain, regulatory, risk, treasury. We've a significant amount of global roles, clinical trials, biometry, statistical programmers, digital marketing, global audits. So there's a huge amount going on out there. We've over 400 employees now, so really significant growth over that time. We've a packaging, global distribution there, and also we've a state-of-the-art albumin manufacturing facility now. So we're
Tell me more about that. This is out in Grange Castle.
out in Grange Castle, yeah.
Tell me more about the albumin manufacturing facility.
So we're we'll manufacture albumin in bags. So as opposed to the old traditional vials, it's sort of more innovative way of doing it. You have the sort of the plastic vial, or the plastic bag. It's collapsible. It's less energy intensive to the glass in vials, and yes, we'll manufacture that albumin. It's a purification and sterile filling facility, state of the art. It's really, really beautiful, and very fortunate to work in such an environment. So real investment in Ireland from Grifols, and very significant growth.
It's great to hear it. And I mean, you're a young country manager. Basically, you're representing Grifols here in Ireland. Tell us a little bit about your own views on leadership and what you think a good leadership should look like.
From studies and everything else, and the internet is just, you think half of the internet is about leadership, and I think there's so much out there about leadership, but I'd come across a sort of simple sort of understanding of leadership. It's about sort of achieving significant positive impact with, an organization of people working towards a common goal, and when you sort of break it down as simple as that, it's aligning and influencing people towards that common goal, and at the nub of it really is, the human nature, getting people to work together. People from all different backgrounds, different values, different strengths, weaknesses, and just everyone sort of aligning towards that common goal. What I try and do, and if you have a real genuine interest in people's sort of development, you're halfway there. You just, you care about people, and you just want to see them grow and develop, beyond the J job, just career progression. It's huge, and just elevate those people around you, make them the stars. It's as I say, you're halfway there. You're the analogy of the football coach. Your job is not to score the goals. Your days of scoring goals are over. Your job is really to promote and make stars out of everyone around you, and you get it back in spades. Because people want to be challenged. They want autonomy, career progression, and that at the heart of it is you have a real genuine care and interest in promoting people, and so they're getting the best out of it. As I say, it's half the battle. With looking. Sort of what I'm trying to work on at the moment, probably be emotional intelligence. All the research is pointing towards, EQ, IQ, or technical ability. It's EQ, and that's what you need to develop. The self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, relationship management. If you nail that, that emotional intelligence aspect of leadership is key. As I say, that's where the research is pointing. So it's certainly sort of what I'm trying to work on, and that old leader is born leader. Everyone has the ability to be a strong, great leader, and leaders are not born. You work hard at it, and as I say, everyone can be a leader. They're just
Yeah, you need to be learning every day, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just kind of pointed that out yourself, that you don't feel like you're the complete package yet.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. We'll always be growing and learning.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that fits in with the self-awareness, I think, as well, that you just mentioned. But and tell me, as somebody like Grifols, obviously, you probably know IDA is our partner on this series. Tell us a little bit about the relationship with the IDA and how it has served you, with the Grange Castle, I suppose, site, but also with sort of, you know, how they've supported you with development or talent or technology?
I didn't, I'd always known about the IDA, you know, before coming into the role, you know, just to name the Industrial Development Agency, you know, but since starting the role, I have to say, I'm so impressed with that organisation. They're unbelievable. They really are. Whatever, like over the last couple of years, you know, I've been working with them on training grants, digital grants, you know, green carbon plan for our local site. They're there to support. You know, looking at AI, we're now engaged with them in grants towards some of our AI development in human resources, and just the relationships you have, a relationship manager, and he's absolutely fantastic, always there at the end of the line. You know, the guys are always available. And we're very fortunate as a country to have an organisation like that. And the more, you know, I talk to colleagues abroad and all the rest, and they're absolutely blown away by what the IDA offer, you know, and what they're doing for Ireland. So I can't say enough about the organisation, I really can't. And I think as a country, we owe them a debt of gratitude. Yeah, I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're very lucky. We don't always realise it, typically Irish, but anyway. And tell me then, I suppose, if you were to look at sort of the big trends that are affecting, I suppose, all industry and all businesses, maybe specifically yours. You mentioned a few things there like sustainability and AI. Tell me a little bit about your views on those trends and how they're going to affect what you do.
You know, there's the last couple of years we've seen a huge jump. You know, ChatGPT and all these different things come in, and I have to say I love it. You know, AI for HI, I think, was one of the, you know, AI for human intelligence, because it's a great opportunity to learn and develop and grow. And you know, I find myself sort of more and more just sort of, you know, asking a few questions here and there, like, but. We've been working with Google recently, you know, our clinical trials teams, looking at sort of data management, you know, statistical programmers and human relations, our digital marketing team, you know, we have a relationship here with Google Ireland, and we're sort of bringing sort of any operational challenges we have, you know, bring them in, work with the Google engineers, and try and develop new ways forward. And it's so exciting, I have to say. I think we're in a great space. If we can manage it. You know, I think there's a lot of fear out there about it. I don't have that fear, because, you know, we're getting to move forward with it, and I can see what it's doing. You can see in relation to science and you know, new healthcare solutions that are coming from this. I think yeah, really welcome it, to be honest. I think the future's bright. Very excited about it, I have to say. You
were talking as well about, you know, the sheer variety of roles that are there out in Grange Castle. Tell me a little bit about talent and what you do to attract talent and such a diverse range of skills.
Yeah, I guess for a while there you couldn't pick up the paper and there was new roles being announced, you know, especially in our sector, which is great. You have to welcome it, so you do, and you know, the competition only make you stronger. So you can, we have phenomenal talent. I know I'm biased and all the rest, but we have phenomenal talent out in Grange Castle and Grifols. Really do. Very fortunate to work alongside some of these people. For attracting talent, you know, you can get the interview process right and be open and transparent. You know, the leadership style we try and have, you know, give people autonomy, really, you know, recognition, sense of purpose, and career development, you know. And if you look after that sort of internal branding, you know, you look after your people, your comps and bends and everything else, we have a fantastic organisation culture. You know, we've so much going on outside of the office. We've all sorts of sports, paddle every month, the relationships that are being built. You know, such diversity. It's an inclusive place to work. And really, I'm always blown away by some of the leaving parties now are in Europe, you know, but the relationships that are being built and the friendships that we have out there. But, you know, the internal branding, you know, you really work on having a wonderful place to work where people can come and enjoy it and mix and engage and feel supported and can grow their careers. Really, it's a big part of the battle in attracting talent.
Well, listen, there's nothing more important than the humans that we work with. So I think we'll leave it on that. What a lovely way to finish. Shane, thank you so much for being with us today. It was fantastic to chat with you.
A real pleasure. Thank you, Anne.